While you thought the GOP was in trouble lately, it is actually the Democrats who are facing a religious holy war internally. It's almost certain to tear the party apart for generations. The latest finger-pointing came after a weekend filled with more anti-Semitic comments from outspoken Democrats in Congress that were shouted down, not just by Republicans, but by fellow high-profile Democrats. Yeah, this holy war in Gaza is exposing the weakness and the fraudulent nature of the identity politics in general. When you paint too many people as victims, you're bound to run into a time bomb when two of those groups end up on the opposite end of something as explosive as religion and war. Welcome to the Democrat Party 2023. Now, I'm sure you heard this, but over the weekend, Rashida Tlaib accused the Biden administration of supporting genocide in Gaza and accused Israel of committing war crimes for fighting back against the widespread terrorist attacks that were unleashed on October the 7th, leaving an estimated 1,400 civilians dead. The number of total casualties in the war is now estimated by some to be around 9,000, but to be fair, it's very difficult to get reliable numbers from Hamas or the Palestinian Authority, according to the U.S. government and other watchdog organizations watching the unfolding war. Now, the response to Tlaib was swift this time and included the Attorney General in the state of Michigan, where Tlaib represents the 10th Congressional District. She called for Tlaib for her openly anti-Semitic remarks, and, well, just let's be honest, that's the latest anti-Semitic remarks. And this declaration from Tlaib has Democrats caught in a pickle. You see, historically, they have enjoyed overwhelming support from both Jewish voters and Muslim voters, too. But now they're actually losing both, and quickly. Here's why. It is to the point of absurdity for those on the fringe left. High-profile socialist Bernie Sanders, for example, refuses to condemn the anti-Semitic hate speech from Rashida Tlaib and actually plays dumb on a common chant she's been repeating that calls for the outright destruction of Israel and Jews, because in the end, the Democrats and socialists as a group, as I have told you before, are the most racist people I've ever met. And now they're caught in the middle. They put themselves into an untenable position, an unwinnable position. Listen to this.
I also understand, and I know you know, that words matter. And I want to ask about what she said.
Words matter, but what matters more, Dana, is you have a horrible humanitarian disaster that has to be dealt with right now. You call it whatever you want to call it. It has to be dealt with. Women and children cannot be bombed with 2,000-pound bombs. And we need the entire world.
So when she says from the river to the sea, when she says from the river to the sea, which the ADL says is anti-Semitic, she says it's aspirational, but the ADL says it is anti-Semitic. Do you want her to stop using terms like that?
Well,
and others.
Donna, you know, it's not what I want and anything else. This is what you got. President Obama just said the other day, I think quite correctly, and we all got to deal with it. This is an enormously complex issue. And slogans like the river to the sea, if that means the destruction of Israel, that's not going to work. People who are saying Israel, right or wrong, we're for you all the way, that's not going to work.
Well, there is CNN trying to spoon feed Bernie and the Democrats the answer. Still trying to treat him with kid gloves and serve him up the right answer on a silver platter, but he still doesn't take it. He doesn't take it. Apparently, he's not at all that upset that a sitting U.S. member of Congress uses a slogan that means the death and destruction of all Jews in Israel. He at least says chanting that isn't going to work, but neither is being 100% pro-Israel in his mind. You see, he is equivocating with terrorists. Equivocating with terrorists. But the problem with that is the government in Gaza is explicitly calling for the extermination of all Jews. The Israeli government is not calling for the extermination of all Palestinians or Arabs or Muslims, just the Hamas terrorists. So let's try this. Does Bernie know what genocide is? Well, I'd like to know, but he seemed to dodge that question too. Watch.
That last screen said Joe Biden supported the genocide of the Palestinian people. I know you know the definition of genocide. It is defined as a crime committed with intent to destroy a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. Do you think that's what Israel is doing here?
What's going on right now is a horror show. We don't have to quibble about words. Thousands of men, women, and children are being killed. It has got to end right now. And one of the things that concerns me, Donna, is there has not been enough talk about what right-wing Republicans are doing right now. They don't want any aid to go to the Palestinians. Somebody should be talking about that. Somebody should be talking about how Trump wants to expel Palestinians from this country.
When you look up the term unhinged, you get that Muppet judge there, Bernie Sanders. Yes, it's all Trump's fault, you see. Republicans, on the other hand, are, it appears, standing for the defense of Israel and its right to exist in self-defense. And the new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, guided a funding bill through the House to support the only democracy in the Middle East, of course, and he enjoyed the support of several Democrats along the way, too. But it seems it's not going to be enough. And the fence riding is going to continue. And let me tell you, clearly that is a losing strategy because wishy-washy never works. It's not something people vote for.